Good afternoon. If you are tuning in, well, this is taking place directly after our 10:30 service this morning. Hello, everybody. You can see in the background there's Stephanie over there. We're going to bring her in just a minute. We do have Facebook up and open right now, so if you at any point have any questions, feel free to go ahead and comment on that. If you're following on YouTube, I can't monitor that right now, so we'll figure that out later. Anyhow, so here we are. Before we get started into this, we have an urgent prayer request that has come my way from our Reno campus. And we all know that right now there's a significant fire that's burning out there near Loyalton, Chilkoot, and in the Sierra Valley. And it looks like there has been a certain number of houses and ranches that have been taken by the fire, according to a resident up there. So please pray for the communities of Loyalton and Chilkoot and everybody in that Sierra Valley, because that fire, as you know, this is fire season around here, and just pray for people's safety and that God will do what God's going to do through that. Speaking of prayer, the reason for this stream today and this informational video is because school starts tomorrow, and it's really been on my heart a lot this week that school is in fact starting tomorrow. There are a lot of kids, teachers, staff, admin, so on, who are starting school tomorrow for the first time since we've been in this global pandemic. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of information, some of it confusing, some of it false, whatever, which leads to an enormous amount of anxiety. And we need to be praying for our schools. And the Bridge Church here in Spanish Springs, we're going to do this in two ways. One way is we're going to do some prayer walking in the neighborhoods, and another way is over the course of the next week, I would like to create a prayer schedule to see if we can get these schools covered in prayer for the entire school day, pretty much from 7 to 3. I would like to have people praying for these schools, and you can sign up for that by calling me. You can message on this video today, or you can find me some other way, and as we need slots filled, I'm going to go ahead and start calling people on the old phone. Remember that? Phone calls? Those were fun. But anyhow, so that's what's going on. Stephanie Wolf, who is sitting directly behind me, is who we've asked to head up the prayer walk side of this. And so I'm going to turn this over to Stephanie right now to fill you in on what's going on there.
Hey everyone, great to be with you today. Just a couple of things as far as what specifically to be praying for. Darren mentioned a couple of things. Some things you really need to be focusing on is the staff in the schools. There's so much confusion going on right now, and really covering whether it's teachers, support staff, admins, the custodial staff, everybody. There's so much uncertainty with what's the right way to go about this. My sister is an admin and she's dealing with all of this in another state. So, just going through and figuring out what is the safest and most efficient way to do this. It's a big task for the decision makers to be making and for the rest of the staff to be following. So just be praying for wisdom and clarity in the right path for them, as well as safety and our teachers to not be too overwhelmed. There's a huge change in classroom culture that's coming, and how do they still serve their students and teach and help them to grow while maintaining this new norm that we have. Also for communication to be going smoothly within the schools, starting with teachers going all the way up the chain to school admins, up to our school board, and our state government. So just for communication to be clear on what that best method is. So as far as meeting to do the prayer walk aspect of this, those are kind of the things to be praying about with that. I'm hoping to get some response on our Facebook page on what day and times work for you. I am able to meet different points to be there in person with you. But as far as going to the schools, in Spanish Springs, there's a couple of elementary schools. I think a couple of middle schools and two high schools.
No, one high school.
One high school. Okay.
2 middle schools.
Okay. Yeah.
And 3 elementary.
Yeah.
Depending on where you
draw the line there. Yeah.
I'll call it 3.
3 elementary schools, 2 middle, and 1 high school. That really, as this is the community that this church has set its foundation to serve. It's really a wonderful ministry opportunity to be able to pray over those schools in particular. So I'd like to set up a schedule for when we can get together and pray in person, or if you're not wanting to, I mean, we'd be social distancing and masks and everything, but if you're wanting to avoid that altogether and just go on your own, it's good to keep track of who's praying and when. So Darren's got my email, and you'll have access to that here in just a moment to email me what you're thinking for that. And depending on, where this goes, this would be a wonderful thing to continue throughout the school year, to get a weekly meeting together. And so if you're interested in that, when you shoot me that email that's on the screen there, shoot me an email letting me know what day and time would work for you. Or just if you decided to swing by on your own, I'd love to know about that as well. The other question would be, do we just want to focus on Spanish Springs and the Greater Sparks area as the focus of this church, or do we want to branch out into the rest of Reno? I mean, there's a lot of schools all across the Reno metro, so they all need prayer. So that's, I want to hear from you on if you're wanting to stick just here close to home, close to our church here, or branch out across the city. And if you are interested in doing that weekly prayer walk or weekly prayer ministry, there'll be an email list as well for info on what school we're focusing on that week, as well as some prayer prompts for that as well. So if you're interested in participating in this, which I hope you are, go ahead and shoot me an email, and we can figure out the rest of the details.
Thanks, Stephanie. And we already have a taker, so that's cool. We have our first person, and so we're going to give a little bit of time for folks to jump in and volunteer, and then probably starting tomorrow, we'll be on the phone making calls, calling you to see if that's for the folks that may have missed today's presentation. However, with all that said, I hope you have a great Sunday, and we'll see you when we see you.